All right, well, I had a suggestion from someone last week to do a bunch of starts using foods. And so I asked ChatGPT for some ideas of 5-letter foods, and it gave me a bunch of ones. It said, like, here's some with vowels, here's some with consonant, here's some that have a good mix. And I said, what words would be the most fun? And this is the list that it gave me. And so today we're going to start with pizza. So these are not necessarily good starting words for Wordle, but they are what I was told are fun starting words for Wordle. All right, so the I, I'm kind of thinking like an OI, maybe something, well, something like point, but there's no P. We could do joint, but the J isn't great. Okay, so maybe we could do something like coins, but of course it's not going to be a plural ending in S. Something like poise, but again, no P. Huh. Well, I'm not thinking of anything great with that. We could also do an OI here. We could also do like an EI or a UI or something. We could do something like built, or how about guilt? Maybe you feel guilt after you eat too much pizza sometimes. Sure, let's go with that. Ooh, there is a U and an I, but not there. So they could still be together and be here. I don't like that as well. But neither one of them is second. So you can't really do like a, second and fourth kind of vowels, which is pretty good sometimes. Could we have like a UN at the beginning? Like an unfit but not unfix? Undid is a word that I've guessed semi recently, I feel like. Unfix, undid, unmix isn't terrible either. Everything else I'm thinking of uses letters that we've already eliminated, like until and unlit, unmix. Unmix, I mean, it's got the X, but undid has the double D. Unfix is about the same as unmix, I feel like. I thought of unfix first. Let's go with that. It's not even an unword. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, it's not going to be UI or IU at this point. For it to be IU, it would have to start with the I. And for it to be UI, it would have to end with the UI. And that's possible if we had something like ennui, but there's no N. So, but the I is first or last. So we could do this, but I don't like that. So I'm kind of thinking I at the beginning. Imbue, didn't we already have that last week? Didn't we just have imbue? I feel like we just had imbue. But that's still possible. It could be something else like this. Ooh, issue. The double S. I think, man, that's all I'm coming up with. I think it's got to be imbue or issue, and I think we just had imbue. So I'm gonna do issue. Oh, wow. Okay. I feel like it was just last week we had imbue, but I can't remember for sure. I know yesterday was kind of a lousy answer. Uh, and Saturdays wasn't very glossy. Um, and I know I had a lot of trouble with the last two at the end of last week were words that I wasn't super familiar with. But I feel like maybe not even last week, maybe a couple weeks ago. I feel like we had imbue recently. Let me know if we had imbue recently or not. I'm pretty sure that was the only other possible answer at this point. And so if it wasn't issue, I would have been fine. But wow. All right. Well, I had a little guilt over my pizza start, and then I had to unfix some things and finally got to the heart of the issue today. So let me know how your solve went. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more.